Good evening, friends. Days are not so happy. Am I right? Market has become extremely choppy and volatile, and the scripts are falling very substantially, especially in a mid and small cap. If you remember, those who attend the webinars, they would not find what's happening in the market surprising. Why? Because we stated that very clearly, that market is going to behave in a very erratic manner. If you go back and listen to my 1 month back webinar where I discuss about the delta between the mid and between the small cap and the large cap is going to get reduced, and it has reduced substantially. You may be aware that in our PMS, we were largely focused on mid and small cap. Today, more than 75% has been moved to the large cap. And we did that exercise very swiftly, because we knew that mid and small caps are going to underperform significantly. Number one. Number two, exiting from the small cap has become a little challenging for many of the investors. Why? Because if you try to sell the company, you can sell only at 5 to 7% down, and by the time you keep selling, there is a high probability it will further go down. And that's the reason we said what professional fund manager can do, retail investors may not be able to do that despite knowing very well कि वो underperform कर रहा है, because human emotions, maybe little inertia, not enough guts to get out of his mid and small cap in anticipation that. So these are the reasons why, so many of you may be aware that we discussed that the delta between the mid and small cap is going to come down versus the large cap. And yet you may not have done any action on that. But we did that clearly. So I have a very small presentation, and then of course we'll open the floor for question answer. So just a disclaimer that this webinar is only to enhance your understanding of the equity market. Please consult your financial advisor before buying or selling any stock. Past performance is no indicator of future returns, and investment in securities market are subject to market risk. So if you look at what happened now, I've given that data 1 week, 1 month and YTD. And if you look at this data, it's very last 1 month back, the small cap was up by 7-8%. It's just up by 3.7% YTD. Large cap has outperformed small cap. And in last 1 week, you look at this, 5.25% decline in small cap, 1.8% decline in mid cap, and Nifty and Sensex both are down almost by. So they've outperformed. They are down, but they outperformed the mid and small cap. Now the question comes, क्या होगा? क्या ये trend change हो जाएगा? Reverse हो जाएगा? I'm afraid the answer is no. There is a high probability that 0.37 that you see YTD could move into the red zone by the time I come in front of you next week. The situation continues to look little not so rosy for the small, and even the mid cap, what you see has been holding quite well. 6.51% may come under pressure. So what we have done in PMS, and see, we are so transparent with investors. No, those who are not even PMS investors, they are also transparent with them. We have moved away from mid small cap. We have very negligible holding now in small cap. That has moved to the large cap. We have done aggressively the profit booking in mid caps, and that money has gone into the large cap. And due to that, more than 75% we are right now in the large cap of our total PMS holding. Reason is very simple, because we believe that mid and small cap can underperform going forward. It's not that our shifting is permanent to the large cap. At appropriate time, we will again come back to the mid and small cap, but this is not the time to take shelter under mid and small cap. It is a time to take shelter under large cap. We are not taking any cash calls. We have 100% invested in the market. And my request to all of you, please expect more pain in the small cap and the mid cap. I know you may not like my statement, but my job is not to give you what you like. My statement should be what I believe is likely to happen. Now, sometimes people get confused between the opinion and the prediction. There is a huge difference between the opinion and the prediction. My opinion is that small cap should underperform. That's not my prediction. So don't get confused with prediction and the opinion. Am I right? And hence, I strongly believe, if possible, do not add more money to the small cap unless you have a very compelling reasons to invest in that small cap companies. Okay. Having said that, over a period of 3 to 5 years, small caps should do well. But the problem is, how do we manage the short-term volatility? Aadmi ka, investors claim he's for the long term, she's for the long term. But the moment market becomes little volatile in the short term, वो long term वाला investors short term बन जाता है. That view becomes very pessimistic. And that's where the challenge happens. The complete rally in this market started from October 2023. One was definitely the assembly election. The second thing was the expectation that Fed would do almost 6 to 7 rate cuts in 2024. The first rate cut was supposed to happen in this month. No sign of that. And if you look at the today inflation data that came out from the US, of course, I'll come to Indian data also. The inflation came at much higher than expected. 3.2%, okay, as expected, as against 3.1%. So in fact, it's running ahead of this one. So rate cut is ruled out for the in the month of March. It's ruled out in the month of May. The market is expecting the first rate cut in June 2024. What was expected 7 rate cuts in 2024 has gone down anywhere between 3 to 0. In other words, maximum 3 rate cuts and possibility of no rate cut at all in 2024. And that's how the sentiment changes, am I right? Yes, today India's inflation also came. It's marginally lower than what it was there in the month of January. 5.09% versus 5.10% of January. So not much change that has happened. Again, expectation that rate cuts should happen in India also. Again, don't get confused opinion with the prediction. I am of the opinion that rate cuts should happen before general election in India. And I do expect the price of petrol and diesel should come down. Like we have seen LPG cylinder price reduced by government by 100 rupees per cylinder. Same way diesel and petrol. And if that happens, I think it's all the more reason for RBI to cut back, because it will reduce the pressure on inflation. Election schedule is going to come in this week. Most probably Friday or Saturday. And then even if the government wants to do something, can't do it. Why? Because that election code of conduct will come. And hence, no government can announce any measures which has potential to swing in their favor. So that will not be allowed. So if anything has to happen, it has to happen before election dates are announced. RBI has no compulsion. RBI can do rate cut even after election results are election schedules are announced. So that the code of conduct doesn't apply to RBI. It applies to the government of India. So don't get confused with government of India and the RBI. So that's what has happened. So yes, there will be pain in a mid and small cap. Be wary of. And if you listen to the language of SEBI chairman or chairperson, I would say so, clear-cut signal that mid and small cap are running little ahead of the fundamentals. Even SEBI has clearly stated SME IPO. So if you happen to be an SME IPO, and you should listen to my interview that got published today in ET online. Okay, if you wish to read, you can go to my Twitter handle or you can go to my LinkedIn handle, you can read that. I've stated about the SME IPO. Be careful. I do not want your hard-earned money to go down the drain. If market volatility bothers you, please stay away from the market. देखो ही मत market से छुट्टी ले लो. 3-6 महीने किधर और चले जाओ. Divert your attention. But if you are going to take any decision out of fear or the greed, you are going to pay heavy price. Remember that. This is the indices for last 1 week. IT did extremely well purely because of I think market what we call take a shelter, because that seems to be more this one. But realty index came down by 6.18%. If you look at the YTD, PSU bank did come under pressure, and Nifty bank and everything seems to be continues to be remain under pressure. So I'm not very sure this data is little right, but there seems to be some data inconsistency I can see, because in this slide I'm showing you the Nifty small cap is in red YTD, but here I'm saying it's in green. So there is some data inconsistency, and overall the picture doesn't look very rosy for the small cap, this one. Now if you look at the FIIs, they have turned positive. They have pumped in the month. This is again my mistake. It's for the month of March. This is not for the month of February. Again my mistake. 26,358 crore. And this heavy buying has happened in secondary market, not in the primary market. So I think, and if you look at the YTD, now FIIs are positive in 2024 with 2,100 crore positive inflow. So that's what has happened. So while the markets are down, sentiments are down, FIIs have turned positive on Indian market. That money is going into large cap. That money seems to be going into the IT sector. And that's what the message is clearly. So if you connect the dots, that's what the message it gives very clearly. Just to summarize before we open the floor for question answer, we continue to believe despite fall in the mid and small cap, especially in small cap in last 1 week, do expect pressure on the small cap. This pressure will come eventually on the mid caps also, which has been holding reasonably well till now, but they would also come under pressure. Election code of conduct is going to come in this week itself. No government reforms or no new government announcement will come in. If market volatility concerns you, please get yourself switched off from the market if it bothers you. My worry is that because of fear or greed, you will end up doing something which you are not supposed to do. And the way we did in our PMS, see, we basically walked the talk. We stated that we are going to move to the large cap, and we did that. My request to all of you would be do that something similar if you have a personal portfolio. If you are not able to do it, take help of your professional advisor. Over a period of 3 years, small cap will do well. But challenge is that how do you manage the recent present volatility? ना तो डिसिप्लिन होती है हमारे यहाँ पे, ना पेशेंस होता है, और फिर हम लोग we do end up doing something which we are not supposed to do. So with this, let's open the floor for question answer. Prabhakar ji, Sunil, we love your talk, but caliber of your stock selection team, I'm not impressed by so many stocks negative despite market is up. Prabhakar sir, so you have given backhanded compliments. Anyway, so I think yes, sometimes there is nothing wrong with the stock selection. It's just that it doesn't participate in a short period of time. You know, and that's the nature of the market. It's not necessarily that all stocks that we select are going to go up. Am I right? And sometimes nothing happens in weeks and months. A lot can happen within few days. And that we have seen in the past and that we can see in the future. Yes, some stocks may not have done well, few stocks may not have done well, in your portfolio many stocks may not have done well. Don't read too much. And see, the market nature is that when market goes down, index cannot fall by 3% on a daily basis. But scrip can fall by 9%, 10% in a couple of days in a row also. So, in a falling market, your stock will fall much faster than the benchmark or the index. Same way, when the market starts turning around and becomes bullish, your stock can move up by 10%, index cannot go up by 10%. So that dilemma will always happen, Prabhakar ji. And that's why I keep saying if market volatility worries you, please switch off from the market for a couple of months. That's what my advice was. And of course, as a process, we keep continuing improving whatever best we can do to improve returns for the investors. And that's exactly what we did in our PMS, moving away from small cap to the large cap and aggressive profit booking in the large cap, purely based on in mid cap, purely based on our IP. Sandesh, how the market will be nil till next election? Sir, are you referring to 2019 or the coming election, 2024? If you are saying for 2029, the market should be extremely good. We do expect market to remain a little range bound. See, you need to understand someone is managing index very well. We don't see much of a crack happening at the broadline index. But a lot of things are happening below the surface. So while the water looks very still on the top of it, there is a lot of under the sea, a lot of beneath the surface, a lot of things are happening. And my worry is that this will keep increasing, it will keep happening till election results are not out. There are a couple of concerns that market will have to navigate. One was definitely, most of the experts thought that there will be a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Why? Because of Ramadan starting, and there will be ceasefire at least till the Ramadan is not over. But that has not happened. Inflation continues to remain a little stickier than what initial thoughts were. And due to that, there is a delay in terms of rate cuts from the central banks. India will have to see how monsoon would be this season. IMD will come out with the prediction I think second week of April, if my memory serves me right, so maybe 1 month down the line, we will come to know. But IMD did predict that we are going to have heat waves in the month of April and May, including March. And these are the things which we need to be really little worried about, because that will spur demand for the electricity. Water, the evaporation of water can happen a little faster because of warmer this one. Higher heat could also mean that lower yield on the agri produce, that's especially Rabi crop, and so on and so forth. So I think there are little challenges. We do expect market to remain little range bound with the downward bias. So you will not see much change happening at the index level, but you will see a lot of things happening in the mid and small cap space. Rahul called, while gold has moved substantially, do you still foresee good rise of silver, which is still not witnessed? Rahul Kumarji, yes. If you go back to our equity outlook 2024, we did mention that both gold and silver should give us returns in double digits. There is no reason for us to change our view at this point of time, either for gold or silver. While the gold does move up, silver should also. I have not checked the price of silver off late, but that should also do well. Dhananjay, sir, all stocks, including major stocks, are now getting beating. Would you advise to book profits or loss with such scenario? So Dhananjay ji, I'll tell you what we are doing in PMS, and if that helps you, please do that. In large cap, we are not locking in profits unless our IP suggests so. In mid cap, we have defined certain threshold based on our IP, and we are exiting from locking in the profits. The same logic you can apply for the mojo stocks if you wish to do so. Other option is that till the stock does not lose its mojo stock status, you can continue to hold. Once it loses the mojo stock status, you can exit. That's another way you can look at it. But we are doing what I told you in PMS. Mr. Brad sir is saying, Mr. Mohit had mentioned in his webinar that Mojo will watch and advise when to invest in large amount. Definitely, sir. We will come in front of you and tell you that now we believe that market seems to have hit the bottom and you can now start putting more allocations to the equity. So, if you remember, we did that in Feb 2023. And again we will come, Brad sir, in front of you and will tell you, okay, please increase the allocation right now to the equity. And we will do that. So don't worry, it is our promise, we'll come in front of you and we'll do that. See, we have been doing this from last 3 years. If you go back to our webinars, fortunately God has been kind to us, let's be very honest with you. And most of our predictions have gone right. We could rightly predict what could be the bottom level. I distinctly recollect, and a lot of you people praise also at that time, because we did mention that we do see Nifty at 15,500 in 2023. And when it did touch 15,500, we told you people, please go ahead and invest. Because you may have forgot what we predicted in the beginning of the year, our Nifty 50. So Brad sir, again we will come in front of you. We will tell you, please increase the allocation. Now there is some confusion in the investor's mind. If you are already invested in equity, then what you are doing, when you come to the PMS, you are not increasing your allocation to the equity. You are already invested in PMS, equity. What we are saying, you come with your personal holding to the PMS. But additional allocation to equity, we are saying no. Because probability is very high, and I again say, time and again, I have stated in my January 2024 webinar also. Again I repeat, 2.5 months down the line, I'm again repeat, whatever gain that you have made in 2023 in equity market, there is a high probability you will lose all in 2024 if you don't act wisely. And that's why you need an help of a professional advisor. पैसा आपका है, choice आपकी है. Behave in a most wise manner. That's what my advice would be. And we will tell you when to increase allocation to the equity. Ashish, I have two questions. In your equity outlook webinar for 2, you had said that Nifty may touch 25, but at that level, success, what level success could go? And what is your view on PCBL? Ashish sir, my request, let me answer the second question first because that's easy for me. We don't give advice. I don't give advice on stock space because now I've been bound by my compliance team. So I have stopped giving advice on company specific. Please go to the Markets Mojo website, look at the score and take a call on that. Okay, and 22,000, what level Sensex could go? Just do it proportionately. I don't have often remember what the Sensex, but I did give the target for Sensex also, if my memory serves me right. And the same target. So we do expect, return in both Nifty and Sensex for the FY 2024 in single digit. We don't expect returns to be in double digits. So my sense is that whatever the Nifty gain that we are seeing from the close of what it was there in 2023 close, same percentage you should expect in Sensex. Maybe 1%, 100 bips here and there, but maybe very similar. So that should give you the Sensex level also. George Joseph, in that case, shift small and mid caps. Why don't you give us suggestion to Diwali and model portfolio also to change? I think in model portfolio, Diwali portfolio, if you look at it, I think most of our, at least in model portfolio, see, I don't take now model portfolio. Karan is the best person to answer that. But if my memory serves me right, I think we are more holding towards large cap only in the model portfolio. But I could be wrong. Maybe you can check with Karan and he will be the best person to answer that. In Diwali portfolio, I don't know what is a percentage, but I'll definitely convey a message to Karan and maybe what better or best he can do. He'll come in front of you and do that. Just remind me this, Amir. I'll have to speak with Karan and I'll pass on this message to you. Tapan, in spite of holding large cap, still my model is still going for a toast. Market is up 0.1, my portfolio going down more than 1%. Rise in last trading session. So sir, it will happen in short run. I must tell you that. As I was explaining you, index can't fall by 5-6%, but large cap can fall by 5-6% as a script, am I right? So it will happen. But what you see eventually, your underperformance will be limited. Because if you look at the small caps are falling by 2 to 3%. Am I right? Index I'm talking about. So fortunately, your portfolio is going by 1%. So you need to always have a look at the trade-off. Now I agree. What you are saying is that आपका portfolio 1% गिरा large cap में. Had you not invested in large cap, you had taken more exposure in small cap, your portfolio would have gone down by 5-6% in a day. Because the index is fallen by 2-3%. The mini script would have fallen more than that. So are you getting what I'm trying to say? Is it clear or not? Okay, so let me just, if I can take you to the small cap index. Just if you don't mind, can you just show that? Is it visible? No. Oh, it's not visible. Okay. For example, today the index is down, small cap index is down by 2%. But one company called Paisalo Digital is down by 20%. Am I right? So this is what you will always see happening in terms of this one. There's something called Swan Energy down by 18%. Lancer Container 16%. Autumn Investment 10.77%. Okay. Quint Digital 10%, Infibim Avenues 9%, HP Adhesive 9.1%, GMR Urban 9%, Crescendo Railway 9%, SpiceJet 9%, JTL. What I mean to say is that, so you should always look at trade-off. Since you have moved to large cap, fortunately you are down only by 1%. Otherwise your portfolio could have been down by at least 4-5% when the index is down by 2-3%. And this will always happen in downfall market. So what you should do now, and let me put it this way. What you should do, you could go to the, okay, but since you are not able to see my, what we call screen, I don't know what happened, because the problem with me, not with Amir, I don't know how the setting basically changes. So okay, let me give you some examples. So I'm just going to the Morningstar, what we call, I'm looking at 1 day returns, okay. देता है 1 day return, नहीं देता ये, 1 day return देता है ना, okay, ठीक है, okay. And I'm looking at the large cap. So today the Sensex, I'm talking about the large cap. I don't know whether this is as of 11th March. Sorry, this data is not as of 12th March, okay. As of 11th March. If you look at the 1 day returns, and of course this will get updated by evening, so just go to that and just look at the returns. Now many of the mutual fund scheme would have also fallen more than the benchmark. I'm talking about mutual fund which are the many stocks, okay. So if you look at it, the category average large cap is 0.6 for yesterday, for 1 day, okay. Let me look for 1 week, okay, 1 week. Nothing has been found, I don't know. Month to date. Okay, month to date, but kitna hai this? So, if you look at it, the index will look little less in the falling market, and portfolio will take a lot of bidding. That's very normal. You should only be fortunate that you wisely move from small cap to the large cap. That is going to protect the downside. मार्केट नीचे जाएगा, डेफिनेटली वो जाएगा, पोर्टफोलियो नीचे जाएगा आपका. इट मे फॉल फास्टर देन द बेंचमार्क ऑल्सो, बट दैट्स अ सेफ्टी नेट दैट यू बिल्ट इन. सो यू विल फॉल, बट नॉट एज मच एज द स्मॉल कैप इंडाइसेस आर फॉलिंग, एंड दैट्स द ओनली ट्रेड ऑफ दैट यू नीड टू लुक इन टू कंसर्न एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. एट द एप्रोप्रिएट टाइम वी विल सजेस्ट यू when to move from large cap to medium small cap. Vinit is saying, among the large cap, which are the top recommended sectors? We believe pharma should do well. We believe IT should do well. We believe defense as a theme should do well. These are the themes that we do believe. Capital goods and infra should do well. These are the themes that we believe should do well. So within infra, then you will get some of the ancillary to infra like cement and so on and so forth. They should all do well within the large caps. Frank is saying, how should investors approach the upcoming rate easing cycle? Uncertainty in monetary policy and rate valuation warrant is triggered buying approach? I think so, Frank, and I don't think rate easing cycle is going to kick in very soon. You would have seen the data of US inflation today. Not very healthy picture, and I think even the market should be little down. In the US I'm talking about, but let me just see. I'm just opening. No, both markets are up. Dow is up, S&P 500 is up, Nasdaq is up. So I think market seems to have taken in the stride. Okay, let that be this one, but we will ignore that inflation data. I think staggered approach makes a lot of sense in this market as compared to, we have been saying in our webinar also, if you wish to invest 300 rupees, invest 100 rupees right now, another 100 rupees after 2 months, another 100 rupees after another 2 months. Devi Buchi is saying the definition of small cap, mid cap different from market mode to NSE and BSE. This is confusing. For example, CDS per mid cap, whereas in small cap as per Zerodha and NSE BSE, please advise how to take into consideration for investment. So when we say small and mid cap, you look at our definition, okay? And our definition is anything which is between 1,000 to 5,000 crore is a small cap. Market cap 1,000 to 5,000. Anything between 5,000 to 20,000 crore is a mid cap as per our definition. And anything above 20,000 crore is a large cap. So when I talk about small cap, I mean our definition of small cap. When I say mid cap, it's our definition of mid cap. And when I say large cap, it's our definition of large cap. You'll be surprised to know that within the small cap index also, there are many companies which are maybe a large cap, but yet they've been defined by exchanges as a small cap. We have no control over that, but that's how it works. Hi Sunil sir, first of all, thank you to save our profit by recommending us to exit from small cap Mojo stock, but we haven't received any suggestion to exit from Mojo 1 small cap. Says I have 20 to 20% loss in Mojo 1 small cap shares and some shares below 15%. Should I book loss and move money to large cap or stick with Mojo Recursion for small cap? I think Kaval sir, I think what I would request you, just hold on. I'll convey this message. In fact, someone also suggested Diwali portfolio. I don't know how many small caps are there. I'll ask Karan to review and take a call on that. So just hold on for a couple of days. Let Karan basically come back to you and basically advise you what needs to be done on the Mojo, because I don't want to suggest something where I'm not supposed to. So that's the reason I'm not commenting on that. But I'll explain you what we did on our PMS. I'll come back to you. I'll ask Karan to respond to this actually. मुझे वापस ये भिजवा देना ये question. Do we have questions or no? Okay. Kirti Kumar says, what should be the allocation to small and mid cap? My suggestion should be, don't be more than 25%. 75% can be large cap, 20-25% in mid and small cap combination. Within that, prefer to a more mid cap as compared to small cap. Sam Sunil, can you share insights on performance of Mojo stocks and model portfolio in bullish, bearish and sideways markets? Sam Sunil sir, your question is very much right. Please ask Karan and he should be able to share the data. As I told you, I cannot comment anything on the model portfolio or Mojo stocks. Karan is the best person to answer that. Please request him to. I take care of PMS and you can ask questions on PMS. I'll be more than happy. Yasil Kumar, dear Sunil sir, today there is a news from SEBI about growth in small and mid cap. How these openings will impact market trend for next quarter. So Yasil Kumar sir, I don't know whether SEBI said that or not, but we have been saying in more than 1 month back. If you go back to our equity outlook 2024, we mentioned that at appropriate time we will basically change our market cap. And exactly that is happening. How it will impact the markets, and we do expect mid and small cap to underperform even going forward. So while in last 1 week the small cap index is down by 5%, we do expect that underperformance to continue even going forward. So this is going to remain. When it will change, I'll come back to you, sir. Right now, we don't have a exact date. इसी दिन को ये होने वाला है, because it's also a function of various data point that's going to come in the interim. But right now we do believe that it's going to underperform. That's what we are aware about. KV Maker is saying besides the investment rate in the algorithm, is there any human support that will guide us? The algorithm is suggested to model for me. It is suggesting that I sell some of my large cap blue chip stocks and loss instead of waiting for those companies to bounce back. If you ask me, sir, please follow this advice in a very disciplined manner. And this is I'm saying based on my personal experience. The company may be a blue chip company. Will that company make returns for me? जरूरी नहीं है ना ब्लू चिप कंपनीज आपको पैसा बना के दें. HDFC बैंक ब्लू चिप है कि नहीं है? ब्लू चिप है ना सर. आपका पैसा बना नहीं बना लास्ट 2-3 साल में. कोटक महिंद्रा बैंक ब्लू चिप है, सही में है. आपको जानकर हैरानी होगी कि लास्ट 3 साल में कोटक महिंद्रा बैंक पॉइंट टू पॉइंट is down by 11% versus the benchmark which has gone up by, that is Sensex has gone up by 45%. Blue chip है? नहीं है. Blue chip है. Asian Paints. I'm giving you a live example. See, because the reason I'm giving because to drive home the point. लास्ट 2 साल में एशियन पेंट्स ने नेगेटिव रिटर्न्स दिया आपको. मार्केट ऊपर गया, कंपनी ने पैसा नहीं बढ़ाया. आई एम अगेन अनदर एग्जांपल. मैं आपको सब ब्लू चिप कंपनी की बात कर रहा हूं. नाउ यू मे डिसएग्री विद मी कि दिस आर नॉट ब्लू चिप, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी. एम आई राइट? तो कभी कभी क्या ह्यूमन इमोशंस जो है ना, वो हमको कभी डिसीजन लेने को नहीं देता है. नाउ लुक एट पीडीलाइट इंडस्ट्री. In last 2 years, the SCLIP is up by 22%. Is up. But the Sensex with the same period is up by 32%. What does it mean? It's underperformed. Isn't it? Divi's Lab. Now, is it a blue chip company, not a blue chip company? आप मुझे बताइए. Again, unfortunately, you are not able to see my screen. Otherwise, I would have this one. Last 2 years is down by 18%. Last 3 years is up by only 1.88%. So please remove your human emotions. Please follow what our IP is suggesting you to do that. Don't get married to the stock. Some expert has said that stocks are like your girlfriend. That's in a lighter manner, he has said. Don't take it literally. Never marry to the stock. That's what he has suggested. So my request to you, please remove your human emotions. वो blue chip है कि नहीं है? If our IP suggesting get out, please move out of that stock. Narendra saying, why one of the cigarette manufacturing companies slipped 10% today? I think that very obvious that company, one of the company basically had a stake in that company. The promoter something basically wanted to get out of that, not the promoter I would say, but one of the major shareholder wanted to get out of that company, and that is known. In fact, they wanted to reduce their stake in that company, and that's the reason I think it's gone down. That's no, you're talking about another company. That's another company. No idea, sir. Why it fell by 10%? I have no idea on that company. Prakash, good evening, Sunil sir. Why don't you suggest investment in new PMS account? See, what we are saying is that we don't take cash calls in the market. I'm on this one. So when we started our Infinity, we used to advise you to take money in the stagger. That's what we did that. The reason why we are not doing because we have moved to the Prakash sir, now large cap. There we believe that the downside risk has been protected. So we could have done that what we have suggested had we more focused on the small and the mid cap, which we have not done that. So that's why we are not taking staggered investment. And what we are suggesting, Prakash sir, is that if you wish to do additional investment, then please do it in a staggered manner. But right now we are not taking cash calls, so that's why I'm not investing in staggered manner. I hope that answers your question, sir. Cecil Kumar, question again last week. I'm an OCI. Does the bank link with PMS account of OCI charge anything for PIS reporting from NRI? Charge anything for PIS reporting from NRI account? So your question is not very clear, but if whatever I understood from that, so okay, for what I've understood from your, and then pardon me if I've got it wrong actually, your bank account, we need to open a new bank account. So we right now have HDFC Bank as our custodial for NRI customers, and hence you need to have an PIS account with the HDFC Bank. Now, if you already have a PIS account with another bank, as an NRI, you can't have more than one PIS account. So, you will have to close that PIS account and open a new account with the HDFC Bank. So that's a challenge that is there for that. So that's if I've got your question right, and that's how it's going to work. When your existing PMS account is not with the HDFC Bank, we can't link with that thing because we don't have a agreement with any other the bank, because we need to have an agreement with the bank which you have. You have not mentioned which bank you have, but if it is not HDFC Bank, we can't onboard you in our PMS. I hope that was your question, Sushil Kumar sir. Devasis is saying, as per markets call, I've completely shifted to large cap model portfolio. But my question is that what should be view strategy in downside large cap also? See, the best view one could have, best way one could this is, अगर मार्केट नीचे जाने वाला है मैं सब कुछ बेच के मार्केट से बाहर निकल जाऊँ. The problem happens that when you re-enter the market, it's because market, when they turn around, it turns around very swiftly. It doesn't give you an opportunity to get into the market. So that's why the ideal strategy is that you reduce your risk during the downside. Am I right? जब again giving a cricket parlance, पिच ज़्यादा स्पिन हो रही है तो विकेट को संभालना है. रन नहीं बनेगा तो चलेगा. Very similar, we need to do that right now. So that's why we are saying go to large cap. Yes, it can underperform. Large cap can also underperform, but downside is protected. And at the appropriate time, you move to the mid and small cap. That's what we are saying. So it's basically you bolte na, they have this hybrid strategy where what they do, they move from debt to equity to debt. This is very hybrid strategy where within the equity only, we are shifting from large to mid and mid to large at the appropriate time. That's what we are suggesting. So there will be a downside also to large cap also, because जब market गिरता है किसको छोड़ता नहीं है, कभी कोई तो डला के जाता है. I must tell you that also. And my worry is with those who have not seen the market crash or crack, not the crash. The crash is the wrong word, crack, okay, or corrections. They can come, they may get rattled. अरे ये क्या हो गया मार्केट में? That's the nature of the market, basically. वो ऊपर लेके जाता है तो खुशी देता है, जब नीचे आता है तो गम भी दे जाता है, कभी खुशी कभी गम. And that's what has happened. But you can't take a cash call on the market and say, I'll stay out of the market. So best way in the falling market to move to those sectors or the company where the downside is limited. There is a downside, but the downside is limited. I have an NRI account, Axis Bank linked with a trading account. For every sell or purchase, bank charges 174 PS reporting for sell or purchase. Does HDFC charge anything? To the best of my knowledge, no, sir. But I'll come back to you. I don't want to give you wrong information. I must tell you that also. So give me some time because that's more of an operational. मुझे एक सवाल भिजवा दीजिए, please. I'll come back to you, sir. My team will reach out to you and will give you an answer very precisely. To the best of my knowledge, no. Our broking is only 0.1% plus STT for NRI customers also. And that includes, I don't think they charge anything over and above that. But let me reconfirm because I don't want to give you wrong information. So I'll come back to you, Sushil sir. Wilfie is saying, Sunil, can I shift to model portfolio my personal friend at this point of time? If you ask me, sir, at any point of time, you should change from your personal portfolio to model portfolio. I'll tell you why. There are strong logical reasons. Forget about this market, any market. Model portfolio take portfolio approach. Personal portfolio never take a portfolio. वो क्या खिचड़ी है? किसी ने टिप दे दिया, ले लिया. It does not have proper market cap allocation. It will not have. It will not have proper sector allocation. It will not have a proper stock allocation. Top holding कितना है, top 3 कितना होना चाहिए, nothing. In model portfolio, as per your risk appetite, all the limits are defined. Not only it will tell you which company you should move into, but it will also suggest you how much you should get into that company. That's point number one. Point number two, in your personal portfolio, you may be either too late in terms of locking in profits or too quick in terms of locking in profits. Same way, you may not be able to book losses in the anticipation that company will bounce back. In model portfolio, will tell you when to lock in profits or when to book losses. Not only that, we'll tell you also once you exit from that company, which new company you should be buying in. It's more structured approach. It's more concentrated approach because personal portfolio may have 70 stocks also. In our model portfolio, depending upon the which risk profile you take, it's a predefined portfolio number of stocks. Not too much diversification in the portfolio. And that should really help you to create more wealth over a medium to long term. So please do that. Move away from personal portfolio to the model portfolio. Surendra sir, I am grateful to your comments for mid and small cap being expensive. I exited some of my position early on lock profit. Thanks, Sunil ji. Okay, sir, you don't have to be grateful, sir. Our job is to tell what we feel is right. Sometimes we may go wrong also. Let's be very honest with you, because God has been kind that we have proved more right. But we will tell what we believe, and we are the people जो हम लोग बोलते वो करते भी है in our PMS also. And that's exactly, so we are so transparent that we also tell you what we are doing in our PMS also, so that larger audience of the investors can get benefit out of that. So Surendra ji, we have been doing in the past, we are doing now also, and we'll keep doing in future also, but that's what our nature has been. So everyone in whether it's a Mojo, PMS or Markets Mojo, believe in honesty and transparency, and that's one of the biggest USP of this group. Mahesh Kulkarni is saying, sir, please say how PMS portfolios are performing on an average now. So our Soul has given about 17% return or so, and Power would have given about 19% or so kind of a return. That's what it is basically. We do, so as a good practice, what we do, first Thursday of every month, we come in front of our PMS customers. We give them returns, how it has performed in the last month, how it has performed YTD. We also tell how many portfolios are in profit in terms of numbers and also in terms of value, and how many portfolio losses with numbers and in value. No other PMS house does that. Our sense, and we could be 100% wrong, but in 2024, we'll be among the best performing PMS house in the country. That's what our understanding. The data are still available of other PMS house in the country as we speak. In the month of January, we were among the top quartile. The Feb data would have come out or would have come too late. I don't check that. We'll check the data upon YTD we should be among the best performing. Why? Purely because of our timely exit from small cap, locking in profits in mid cap, moving to the large cap. So, I mean, we don't have questions, or because of time constraint we are putting it?
We don't have questions.
Okay, so Amir is saying we are running out of questions. The time is anyway 8. So it's time to say goodbye to you. Good night, everyone. Again, I'll be in front of you with our Mojo PMS customers on Thursday and other customers on Friday with the future trend analysis. If you go back to our future trend analysis and see what we predicted and what has happened, I think you will see that there is a strong correlation. We did discuss about water crisis, and what I've been informed in the Bangalore, that things are not so great. I've been informed, I don't know how far, I've been informed, so I will not very sure, but I've been informed, so I have not verified that information, that one of the refinery in Bombay has not got enough water to run it. So I think this situation can further, as the heat increases, it can further aggravate the situation. But that's what we keep discovered. Job is to look at the data, analyze the data, and tell you what we believe is going to happen. And that exactly we have done. So we'll do that again on this Friday. So please come and do join us on this Friday. With this, good night, take care.